What's going on, Buff Nation? Welcome back to another video. Sorry for the delay. Missed some time, went away for Mother's Day weekend with the wife and the kiddo. Great time, but we're back in action, ready to roll. Got a lot to go over. Landed themselves an offensive lineman just moments ago. Landed themselves a safety this weekend, which obviously I was gone for. We're going to talk about that. Then some scheduling, not woes, but some scheduling updates with the Nebraska game. And that North Dakota State game continues to be brought up. I've been mentioning it. I don't know if people are looking at it and viewing it the same way that I am, but somebody else has looked at it the same way, and I'm going to get your thoughts and opinions after, of course, we roll the intro.
I flushed my juice down in the club.
Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to smash the like button and subscribe on the way to 10,000 subs. Mean a lot if you help us get us there, and I hope you all had a happy Mother's Day weekend. Let's first get into it. Savion Riley, transfer from Vandy to Miami, now to Colorado. Again, here's where I place this commitment here. Love the commitment. Think it's fantastic. 6'2", 200 pounds, going to add a lot to this Colorado defense. Are we going to see Savion Riley this year? Probably not. We'll see him a few times. Possibly played a little bit at Vanderbilt last year. We can see here that he ranked, I think it was like 614th overall out of all safeties, and I can see it already. The haters are like, this is trash. What are we doing here? Look, this to me is a recruit. And what I mean by that is this isn't necessarily a transfer, although it's labeled as that. But Coach Primus spoke about going after these guys in their second year, right? And skipping that first year of drama of going after those first-year recruits that are being treated like royalty. This guy was a 3-star. Not that he was necessarily treated like royalty, but you kind of eliminate all the BS. Say, hey, we want you to play here. You ready to rock and roll? Absolutely. Let's get it done. Comes into a very thick, healthy safety room, able to grow behind those guys and learn from those guys, a very talented safety room. So again, this to me is as if he just went and recruited him last year, but skipped all of the drama. Let's go ahead and bring you in. There's plenty of scholarship positions open. I think there's about 9 or 8 left, I believe. And I could start seeing a few guys trickle in. I believe what we're probably going to see, like I said, are going to be recruiting type transfers, meaning they're building for depth. They're building what they don't build during the recruiting cycle. So obviously everyone had fun when Colorado doesn't land a top 20 recruiting class, but overall transfer class, they sit at number 1. We've talked about it time and time again. This to me fits into that status quo of building through the transfer portal, and that's where again Savion Riley fits in. You can see his stats here. Nothing again to knock you off your feet here. This is his first year playing as a sophomore. Finally saw the field, dealt with some injuries the last 4 games of the year. But you can see he's got some years of eligibility left. Overall rating of 63. Again, nothing really to knock your socks off, but a great depth piece, and excited to see how he will be developing alongside those guys. Now, some more offensive line help, which look, it sounds like it could be a lot, but you can never have too many guys in the trenches in college football. Well, if you actually looked at a depth chart for the offensive line, it is absolutely insane how many linemen on both sides of the ball are actually on a team. It's like 10 to 15, depending on what team you're looking at. Obviously, you only hear about a few because that's the rotation, but you need depth. You've got to grow on this. Now, Chris Morris is a senior, had a kind of a weird path. Try to take a look into his history a little bit. Was a 3-star coming out of high school. Went to Texas A&M, then went to, or from a JUCO, was a 3-star JUCO. Went to Texas A&M, then transferred at A&M. Had some offers from the likes of Georgia, Tennessee, Memphis. Went to Memphis, didn't play at all at Memphis. Now he's back in the portal. It is his senior year. 6'4", about 290 pounds. So we'll see where he plays in this Colorado offense. I'm interested to see. Again, he's a senior. He may have one more year of eligibility as a graduate, so this could be a 2-year project for Chris Morris and the Buffs. I wasn't quite sure. The JUCO years kind of throw me off with that math. So that you start throwing numbers and math at me, I get a little wobbly. But all in all, I mean, you can never have too many bodies on the offensive line. So we'll see where Chris lines up and ends up on this Colorado team. And how he plays a factor, I would be somewhat surprised if we saw him, but maybe he has a great, summer and is able to beef up a little bit and have an impact on the team. Again, I tried to look some more information up. Wasn't too much to be found there on Chris Morris. So 2 big pickups in the last, I'm not going to say big because I already see the haters. 2 pickups for the Buffs over the last 2 to 3 days here. And again, we're at the I would say we were slower 2 months ago, but this feels like it's a really dry time, and mainly because coaches are out. They're able now, all these quiet and silent periods are all over and done with. So they're really starting to figure out visits and line up visits for a lot of these guys to come to Boulder in Colorado. Obviously, Coach Primus spoke about not necessarily always visiting the homes of the as recruits. He defended that and saying, look, we don't have the budget to be flying around. So sure, there's a lot of phone calls, a lot of FaceTimes happening on trying to set these things up. Obviously, still working in the transfer portal, but we'll see. Again, recruiting is not necessarily their main target, their main tactic, but they did have a big recruiting weekend just a few weeks ago, which we did speak about in a previous video. So we'll see how the next few months play out in regards to that. But a couple of things. I've mentioned this when talking about the schedule in North Dakota State here, where this game to me it's a big one. It's not a game, it feels and it should be a warm-up game. That's how it looks when you hear North Dakota State. But if anybody watches college football, you know that. North Dakota State's no slouch. They are a top-tier dog when it comes to FCS football. So this isn't just some team you throw on the schedule in the week before Nebraska. I mean, look, I'm excited. I love great games. I'm not a big fan of the toss-up games. Gonna be honest. This game, in my opinion, was supposed to be one of those games. And although it can be, but this is one of those games I've been talking about. It's like Colorado, that first game, you kind of want to get your feet wet, right? You're trying to get to a position, you're trying to get adjusted. And this game, and Pete Thamos, I think is who it was, spoke about it. It was like he hates it. He hates the scheduling of this game because the week before Nebraska, it's not that cupcake game. Again, I still like Colorado, obviously, to win the game, but it's just North Dakota State, like I said, is going to be out there swinging, and they're a sound football team. They know what they're doing. So this game is going to be very exciting. I like that it is on Thursday. The time in television, I think, hasn't been announced yet. We do have an announcement for a schedule, but I think it should be nationally televised. I would be shocked if it's not, because although, again, it feels like, it's just one of those nighttime games you kind of throw to the side. No. This is going to be an exciting and electric game for the Buffs at Colorado. So I imagine there'll be some big time visits there as well. But what was announced was the kickoff for Nebraska. This I love. 5:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I mean, talk about a primetime game on NBC. Notre Dame's pissed. That's Notre Dame's time slot. On NBC? Son. So look, this is going to be how that Pac-12 situation works out. I don't know if NBC typically is, again, it's a Notre Dame time slot. I don't know if there's some kind of how they pulled this off, but I'm here for it. I think this is going to, again, it's going to be a massive game. Nebraska made some leaps and bounds from last year. The people are very high on Nebraska as they were last year. We all know how that ended up playing out, but this game is personal. It's got a lot of, healthy blood. And Nebraska fans, you want to talk about a wild fan base, just hungry for something. This is a perfect time and a perfect time slot for this game. So I don't be surprised if College Game Day's here at this game. I don't know what other big games are on week 2. Obviously, as it gets closer, I'll definitely take a look at that to see what it sizes up against. And week 1s might play a little bit of a factor, but you got to think Big Red, De La Raiola, Dor Sanders, primetime NBC. I don't know. I like it. I love it a lot. Give me your thoughts and opinions about it. Again, hope you guys had a great weekend. Hope you guys enjoyed the content. If you do, be sure to smash the like button and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace and love, baby.